Hey, this is Terry, and you're listening to episode 378.
Welcome to TerryWilson3.com.
This is the Terry Wilson, really?
Hey, Tony, this is Terry Wilson with TerryWilson3.com. How are you?
You personally are calling me back.
Get ready to discover, develop, and monetize your skills and talents with Terry Wilson.
Thank Christopher B. This is Terry Wilson, and you are in the TW3 studios here at TerryWilson3.com. Thank everybody for coming out this rainy afternoon and evening. I don't know if it's raining where you are, but it is just coming down here in the upstate of South Carolina. Want to tell everybody that's in our chat room, welcome aboard. Thank you guys for joining us. I see people all the way out from Japan. It's morning time in Japan, so good morning, Daniel's son. And Tom, it's good to see you. Don, it's good to see you. Trevor, it's good to see you. Bam Bam from the left coast is in the house, and the house is packed. Miss Spelling Bee is here to check all of my grammar and my spelling and make sure that I am keeping all my P's and Q's dotted. That's a mixed metaphor and bad grammar right there. So
that's an auto strike.
That's an automatic strikeout right there. It's good to see Christopher B. Kelly Butler in the house. So guys, tonight we are talking about your value and how it can create a life of purpose, passion, and yes, even a paycheck. When I ask some people what their unique value proposition is, I'm amazed at the answers I'll get. For those who've already read my newly released book, you might already know the answer to some of these questions. But for those who have not read the book yet, the answer is generally the same. So tonight we are going to get into that question of what is your value? And because believe me, you do have a unique value. And when it's developed and distributed properly, you can charge a premium for it. But before we get into that, all the way over to the left-hand side, sitting in Lindsay's chair.
We're talking about me. Okay.
I was like, where are we going with this?
We swapped seats just in case Lindsay needs to make a quick exit. She's expecting company this evening, and she needs to be able to get up and say hello to them if they come in. But to my left, Mr. Reagan, how are you doing?
I'm good. Been on the road about 15 hours out of the last 48 hours.
He went to the Yardbird headquarters down there in Atlanta.
We went to the Chick-fil-A headquarters. Our operator took us over there. Super cool. It was awesome.
I
Learned a lot.
all about it.
It was cool. I won't bore everybody because I don't think everybody cares.
He didn't get to meet Truett.
Well, yeah, you can't really. Well, I did meet Dan though, and
but Dan is feeling great.
Dan was feeling great, and they do this really cool thing every Monday where they do like a devotion.
Yeah,
they have like a Monday devotion. They all get together, worship, and sort of just commune together. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty
really cool to see.
Well, it's a great company.
Yeah, I mean, whatever your values are, that's still cool to see that they're willing to take time out and sort of make that time
and
for
honor
everybody.
their values.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Put it up front.
I
So
feel like
sure.
we should have sandwiches tonight to celebrate your
chicken sandwiches.
Yeah. So
they also had a fantastic cafeteria that was open 24/7. Anybody can grab it at any time. The coolest thing of the entire thing, this will be the last. I don't want to bore everybody.
No, you're fine.
Coolest thing out of the, because we did a tour. They literally showed us everything. We even saw Truett Cathy's like actual old office. The coolest thing they did with the entire space. It's very modern. They bought the building in the 80s, but it's very modern. It's like 4 stories. Cubicles, like it. I mean, honestly, it looks like out of a tech company. Like there's glass offices like right outside where these like long drops are, so you can kind of see where everybody's working just in their cubicles and stuff.
Right.
But about 5 years ago, they had like somebody come in and sort of, because one of Chick-fil-A's core 4s is good stewardship. Like, what are you doing with what you're given, and how are you treating it? And they spent. The guy said that they're really only utilizing about 33% of the space that they have. And so what they did was nobody has an office anymore. All the way up to Dan Cathy, there's no offices. What they did was they bought everybody a backpack. Everybody has a laptop. Everybody brings their work with them. And then the cubicles are now open to whoever. And so, if somebody's out on vacation, somebody's traveling, there's not an office space that's not being used or being taken up by somebody that's not there.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
I just thought that was awesome.
Well, it's just part of the company culture.
Yeah, I mean,
and they're letting their values sort of permeate their activity.
Yeah, they taught us a lot, but that alone, us like that's cool because I mean, think about it. Dan Cathy's the CEO of Chick-fil-A. How much
Yeah.
money
Oh,
does that
yeah.
guy make? Like,
And he's out there in a cubicle.
and he's in the cafeteria just working. You come right
pretty
up to him.
nice.
So it's cool.
Pretty nice.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry I filibustered on my introduction.
No, you're fine. I like it. It's good stuff. It's a business show, and you're talking business. And two Reagan's left, my right.
It's me.
Miss CBD Oil, how you been?
I'm okay. I'm good.
I'm okay. I'm good.
Well, I'm in the middle of this detox, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
intense. It's good. It's gonna be super, super good. Like, I'm all about health and wellness. Yeah, that's part of it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Put me on there.
Little herbal tea you can have. That's good.
It's a heavy metal detox.
Oh.
So like no more Black Sabbath or
Or Ozzy
Oh, was that a
Osbourne.
joke? That was a joke.
That's heavy metal band.
Yeah.
Oh,
heavy metal.
okay. No,
Heavy
no,
metal
no.
detox.
It's to cleanse the body of toxins
figured.
that have built up over a lifetime. It's really, really cool.
That's cool.
But it makes you tired, You guys
Yeah.
have done detoxes before, right?
We did one a month ago, and I felt like I'd been ran over by a truck.
You feel like you have the flu.
Yeah.
But that's your body healing, which is really cool. I'm like super fascinated with
well,
all
if
of
feeling bad equates to body healing, I must be the healthiest person. And all the way over to Lindsay's left and my right.
Hello.
it. What's up,
Are you
River?
dried off?
No,
He's in a good mood.
He's not in a good mood.
I was doing great.
I made sure he was in a good mood as soon as I walked in. So
Oh,
Yeah.
he's just
so
giving me the
I
silent
think it's
treatment.
good that I'm between the two boys tonight.
it's one of those things. It's just like you have so much words built up. You're really
And you're, on,
left
and you're on a
speechless.
live podcast. You
I know.
really can't
Oh yeah. I
say,
know.
but
I'm just left speechless. That's all.
Okay.
Speechless.
so do you want to tell the people what happened about 3 minutes before the show
Oh
starts?
yeah. So
Oh yeah.
let's see. Just got to filter out everything.
Let's see. These are words I can't use.
These are the words that are
Make
appropriate.
sure it's easier. All right. But my lovely brother, man, I love him so much.
This one here.
Yeah, yeah.
And one.
No,
Okay.
he's talking about Israel. He's getting that out of the
We
way.
walked to the balcony and we just observed how it was about to rain. And I quote Reagan as he says, "It's about to rain." And I look at him say, "Yes, it is quite dark outside right now." So he grabs my phone and throws it off the balcony. And man, I love him so much. He's so funny. And I still observe the view as he walks off and locks the door behind me, so I can't go back outside.
So you're locked out on the balcony right before show start.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
raining.
Yep. And I'm like, oh, I see my phone about 15 feet below me. Let me try to get down. So when I climb off the balcony, I still notice if I drop, my legs are still going to snap. So I climb back up the balcony. And when I try to open the door, I notice it's locked. So I knock on the door and everybody looks at me like, just open it,
Just open the door.
And it's
That's-
starting to
yeah.
drizzle and drizzle and drizzle. And then it starts getting harder and then harder and then harder.
There's nothing
So
like
at this point, it's lightning and pouring as I'm outside. So I have to open the door, and my phone's still out there. Keep that in mind, audience.
Do you have an ex?
No, it's this thing.
Are they
Uh,
waterproof?
No,
No.
no.
It's
so
Baptist now. It's been
I
totally
sprint
submerged.
to the front door
Oh,
to run all the way to my backyard and get my phone. Luckily, it still works. And then I run back up as it's pouring, raining, and lightning. So I am soaking, and I just want to say thank you
like
to
a
Reagan.
river.
Yeah,
Like a river.
Yep.
Well, thank you for being with us, River, in such
Absolutely.
a diverse
Oh, yeah.
and traverse
And
situations.
if you got any tickets or like anything that you're a little confused at, make sure we got a ticket system. So just send in as much as you can, and we'll make sure Reagan gets
Matter of
Reagan
fact-
loves answering those, don't
Matter of
you,
fact, if you're
Reagan?
just bored and want to talk, right?
Yeah, yeah. If you just want to chat, if you're a little bored and want to chat, just send.
He
them
was
to
already
Reagan.
in a good mood because I walked in and I was like, I'm gone for a day. You broke everything. Here's what you got to fix this, fix that, fix this.
Well, guys, we are in the studio tonight. We are going to have a training, but we are going to have a good time while we do this training. So just bear with us. We got a lot of good stuff tonight. We are talking about your value and how your value can bring and attract the right type of people. But before we do that, Lindsay's got a couple things and Reagan's got a couple things, and we'll get right into it.
Do not forget to pick up your copy of You Are Worth More at youareworthmorebook.com. Only a few left with free shipping. But while we are on live tonight, if you go ahead and purchase it, Terry will throw in a free dinner certificate.
Yes, that's right. So awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. You got your copy?
I got my copy on my Kindle.
And
Yep.
how is it so far?
It's good. I didn't get too far because I go to sleep, and I downloaded it at like 8:30.
And no one can put you to sleep like Terry Wilson.
No, but it was really good. I was kind of surprised because I was reading some stuff that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like I think I know everything, and I don't.
Well, I appreciate that. So I hope it's got some good stuff for you.
Also, we are giving no, I'm kidding. We're giving
Also.
another $300 in restaurant certificates.
Okay,
Food
cool.
certificates this night. So if you'll share the hashtag TW3 Podcast 378, we'll be checking that and we'll be giving that out towards the end of the show.
So if they share the live stream,
Yeah, share the live stream. Use
with
the
that
hashtag. Yeah, TW3 Podcast 378. Also, we're going to be taking questions later. So if you have any questions, go ahead and get them in. River's going to be compiling them, and then we have a segment of the show where we just do questions. So if you send it in and it doesn't get answered right away, that's why we're doing it. We save it for a portion of the show. And last but not least, just keep it all positive, clean, and relevant. So
cool.
That applies to us as well.
we made the rules for us. It just happens to go for you guys as well.
For us. Well, guys, tonight in tonight's income hack number 12, I'm going to be showing you why when you're operating your business within the value you bring to a business, a relationship, or conversation, you can realize your goals without compromising your brand or your values. I like to joke that only 2% of people that meet me actually have to like me, and I can be wildly successful, and I'll show you how that's possible tonight. However, I can say that because I know my numbers. And so tonight I want to talk a little bit, I want to drill down. Do you know your numbers? Know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And so in tonight's income hack number 12, it's entitled Know Your Numbers. Let's get right into it right now. Income hack number 12. What we're talking about is know your numbers. The numbers of your business is going to dictate the success of your business. And here's the first number you've got to come up with. What do you want to make? What is your income goal? What would you like to see in your pocket next year from today? So many people don't think about this or even want to ponder it because we've been conditioned not to think too high, not to reach too high, because we're trying to mitigate and manage disappointment. Because let's face it, all of us have tried and failed at something at some point. But here's the problem. If you aim for nothing, as the old saw goes, you will hit it. So if you want to make more money this year, if income growth is a real thing for you, it's a real goal, then you've got to write a number down. What is it you want to make? And be realistic. Don't try to come up with some sort of arbitrary number out of the sky that just you're not going to make this year, but a realistic high number. It's got to be high enough to where you got to reach. There's got to be a strain. I mean, don't put it, where you're at now. I mean, you've proven you can make what you make now, but what is something that's beyond where you're at right now that you want to make? So what do you want to make? Income hack number 1, know your numbers. What do you want to make? That's the first number you better come up with. And number 2, what do you have to do to make that? See, in business, in entrepreneurialism, it's all about activity. It's not about your effort. It's about your execution. And that's the biggest transition most people, including myself, had to go through from moving from an employee mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset. But we as employee type folks don't have to think about activity. We just have to think about, hey, I work hard for this long, they're going to pay me this. As an entrepreneur, you have to break down what are the money-making activities, what do I have to do to make that number I came up with. So those are the 2 things you've got to do. Let's break it open and hypothetically, let's come up with a number. Let's say, for instance, you wanted to make $250,000 in a year. Now, that might seem over the top for some. That might be right in par for others. That might be, what you made this year already. So wherever you're at, we're just going to use this as a round number because it breaks out pretty nice using the TW3 business model as a way to make money from home or in a professional environment. So if you wanted to make $250,000 a year, I'm going to break down the numbers and I'm going to break down the activity. That's the only 2 things you've got to do. Don't make it more complicated than that. I'm not going to read books about it, even though I want you to read my book. I'm not going to go out and overcomplicate this thing. I'm going to do two things to make this year. I'm going to break down my numbers. I'm going to break down my activity. And those two things are going to get me to $250,000 a year. How? Let's look at it. The numbers. If I want to make $250,000 a year, but I don't want to work every week of the year, let's break it down to just a 50-week work week. And let's say I don't want to work every day. I want 2 days off a week. So it's going to be a 5-day work week. 50 weeks, 5 days. Here's what it breaks down to. That means I have to make $5,000 a week. Easy math, right? 5,000 times 50 is what? 250,000. That means I've got to make $1,000 a day. Easy math. $1,000 a day is $5,000 a week, which is times 50, $250,000 a year. So in TW3 world, what does that mean? I need to make one sale per day. One sale per day. I've got to sell one TW3 package a day. Now, some of them make $750, some of them make $1,500, but in the aggregate, what we have found is most people average out their commission. One sale for you, whether it be an elite package, plus package, or rep package in the TW3 world, is going to be an average of $1,000. Now, your numbers are going to change here if you sell a product that the commission levels are different. But we're using our business as an illustration, but break it down into your own business. What do you make per sale on average? Because each sale has a value. In the TW3 world, the value is $1,000. Okay? So here's the activity I've got to do in a TW3 world to make $1,000. I've got to generate 100 leads a day because that's going to give me 25 leads. What we have found is 100 leads a day that come in. And what is a lead? That's someone that says, here's my name, number, and information. Give me more info. I'm giving you a little bit of information because what you have shown me, either through an ad, through a voicemail drop, through a bulk text, through a social media ad, through whatever means, I'm interested and enough to give my name, number, and email. I'd like to talk to someone. Doesn't mean they're going to buy. More than likely, 75% of them or more won't even go any further than this. But you need 100 leads to get 25 qualified leads. Now, what is a qualified lead? A qualified lead is, okay, I gave you my name, number, and information. You have shown me what it is that you do a little bit, talked to me a little bit, given me some illustrations and some information, and I've looked at some things. Now I'd like a serious conversation with you. This sounds intriguing. If it's doable, if it's affordable, if it's something that fits, I would like to do it. That's a qualified lead. I've seen what you've talked about. I've looked at it. I've investigated. Call me. I want to talk. This looks good. I'm ready to roll if this makes sense. Well, out of 25 leads, that means 5 of them are going to engage in some way in the TW3 world. Maybe they're going to engage as an affiliate. Maybe they're going to engage as a trainer. Who knows? But they've seen enough to say, hey, I want to do this. 5 out of those 25 qualified leads are going to pull the trigger. They're going to engage one way or the other. 1 of them are going to close immediately. So that one close means $1,000. That's the activity. That's how it's broken down. 100 leads. So what that means is if 100 leads is worth $1,000 to me, then what is 100 leads worth? Well, if I can generate 100 leads for $45, $65, $150, $200 in campaign monies, then would it be worth it? Would you spend $45 to $200 a day to generate $1,000 a day? See, if you know your numbers, you know how to plan your business. But if you don't know your numbers, you don't know how to plan your business. Business is all about numbers. If you know the numbers, you'll know your business. That's right. Business is nothing but a numbers game. And the better you can play the game, the better off you're going to be. There's one thing I'll tell you here at TW3. If you come in as a plus member or better, you have the opportunity. Now, it doesn't come with the package when you buy it, okay? Hear me now. It doesn't come with the package, but you have the opportunity to enroll into what we call our 90-day Money Made Guarantee, which means once you get up to speed, once you enroll in that program, what does it take to enroll in that program? that 90-day Money Made program once you come in as a plus member or an elite member with us. And guys, you guys that are listening to this podcast later on in a recording, you guys that are listening to this live, we're using our business as a template to look at, a metaphor, an analogy, but apply this to your own business. So this show can be of value to you, even if you're not a member at TW3. But that 90-day program, what we've got is this. If you go through our steps 1 through 6, you get everything set up the way we show you. You have the opportunity to then contact ticket support. We verify that everything's done the way it's supposed to be done. And then from that date until 90 days, we say, if you'll do these activities, we guarantee you a minimum results. Why can we do that? How can we do that? How have we been able to offer that for 3.5 years now and never have to pay out on it? Because it's a numbers game. That's all it is. When people come to TW3 and then they get their tail feathers bent out of shape after a week or two and they leave calling us everything but our God-given Christian names, how does that happen? You guys' mics are muted, by the way. How does that happen? It's because they didn't do the program.
Right.
You know, I got the program. I had it for a week. I had it for 2 weeks. It's a scam. I'm leaving.
Right.
Well, first of all, I can go back and I can look. I had a guy send an email. He's an active member. Love him. Not talking bad about anybody. But just so you know how I manage and how I look at things, he was like, this isn't working out for me, Terry. I'm frustrated. And so, and I said, well, what's the deal? He goes, I'm just not able to close any deals. And so I went back in his back office and said, can I get in your back office and look and see what activities you're doing and everything like that? And he said, sure. I go back. He's been with us since October. Okay. He's generated since October 40 leads. 40. Now, it takes 100 leads to generate 25 qualified leads. It takes 25 qualified leads to generate 1 sale. And it takes activity within that apparatus of following up, doing due diligence to make it happen. And so when I say TW3 is not a genie in a bottle, TW3 is not a get rich quick scheme. When I say it's a tool, what I'm literally trying to say, guys, is if you don't pick it up and use it and swing the hammer, the nail's not going to go in the wood itself. So don't get mad at me. And so I'm not trying to say anything other than we give you everything you need, the tools, the training, the technology, everything you need that members for the last 11 years here at TW3 have been using and have become wildly successful. We've got guys that are making over $250,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. We've got Miller Time is on tonight. And I'll let him speak for himself. But for the guys listening to this audio podcast is not with us live, this guy came on back in the fall of last year, knocking it out of the park. Hasn't sold one TW3 package, by the way. He uses it as a tool to generate his own leads for his own business.
Right.
So for you guys, it's just something you buy to resell. All right.
Not true.
Get your head out of other areas and start thinking. But the deal is real. You can make a lot of money in entrepreneurialism, guys. I was on a show this morning at 6 a.m. Went up to.
I saw that and I was like, how did he make it?
I slept, and you can ask my family. I slept all day today just so I could function tonight. I was like, I just went to bed. Now I've got to get up. But my hometown talk radio station saw that I wrote a book and had me up there to promote it. And they was gracious enough to have me on the drive time show and talk. And I was basically just said this morning what I say every Monday night. Entrepreneurialism is not for everybody.
True.
But everybody who has the determination and the desire and the want to and the commitment will find entrepreneurialism. There's the beautiful thing about it is it doesn't care if you're black, it doesn't care if you're white, it doesn't care if you're male, it doesn't care if you're female, gay, straight. It is the great equalizer. If you've got value and you can put it in the marketplace, there is none of this shenanigans. Just get out there and make it happen. But, so many times people want to hide behind this card or that card or whatever. I mean, we all have things in life we could be hiding behind and making excuses for ourselves of why we're not going further. And I say, forget that. I mean, I don't want to complain about the rich. I want to become one. You know what I'm saying? And so and I don't know of anything out there that will afford you that other than working for yourself and becoming an entrepreneur. Nobody cares for me more than I care for myself. So I just don't want to put myself in someone else's shoes. And Reagan will reach down and grab something. What do you got there?
Oh, we had to kind of carefully phrase this. We got to read a book.
We had the opportunity
we
to.
were given the opportunity to read this book. It's called Called to Create. It is more of a biblical interpretation for those not interested, but you can look up. But it talks about being an entrepreneur, and it's part of our idea of what an entrepreneur is, because this first chapter is talking about what's an entrepreneur.
Right.
Entrepreneur is someone that creates something from nothing. I mean, it's a bunch of different categories for it. But at the end of the day, it's like entrepreneur doesn't just mean you have a work from home business. Entrepreneur doesn't mean that there's a lot of different avenues. And I think for our business, this is a tool. You know, there's a lot of ways to use this. And
Chris is a great example. He's using it different than I am.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of people, they get locked in the mindset. It's like, well, I'm just reselling. It's like, that's one way to do it. And we encourage that if that's what you want to do, but don't just get hung up there. Like, think bigger, you know? So.
Well, there's so many, we tell you to start there just because we want you to learn how to do certain things, but that's not your end point. That's just the beginning point.
Yeah.
You know, we use our business and our system as an analogy and an illustration of how to do these certain activities so that you can then apply them to anything and everything that you're doing and become wildly successful with it. And so tonight, guys, what we're talking about is your value. Everyone on here tonight, you have unique, God-given, God-inherited value. And Reagan's right. An entrepreneur is someone who creates something from nothing. And because you are created by and for the purposes of greatness, that you've got it inside of you. And so tonight I want to sort of talk about that a little bit, break that open. I want to share a story of how it's applied in my life and how I think it's going to be able to help you. And we'll get to you right after this. You know, if you've ever listened to my podcast, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Earners are learners and leaders are readers. If you want to go to the next level, you do have to grow to the next level. And growth happens by the people you hang around and listen to the most. Seth Godin says you're the sum total of 5 people you hang around the most. And that is why you need to go to terrywilson3.com/free book and get a free audiobook just to try out the services. Here's the deal. Over 70,000 different authors from every type of genre that you could think of. Go over there, pick one that you like, something that's going to inform you, something that's going to inspire you, something that's going to illustrate what you need to do next. Try out the service. If you don't like the service, cancel it and you get to keep that free audiobook. But you're going to love the service. And I promise you, if you will commit yourself to listening and learning from those who have gone where you want to go, you can go there also. So go to terrywilson3.com/free book today. Try out the service and get a free audiobook just for trying it out. terrywilson3.com/free book.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
So value, what is it? Where is yours? What is your value? What is it that's on the inside of you that people would pay a premium for if they could?
10 cents on the dollar.
10 cents. No, not a fire sale, but actually pay you a premium because of what you got. I'll start with you, Reagan. What is your value?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You gotta give me time to think
I'm
about
gonna put
this.
that. I didn't warn any of you guys I was going to be asking. What is your value? If I had to say, justify why anybody should pay you. What is your value?
I think his value is about $24.
That's an actual price on it. Somewhere between a $25 bill and given the right context and given the right circumstances, I think I'm pretty good at leading.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty good at speaking. If you give me time to prepare.
If you warn me.
If you warn me what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah.
I would say I'm an okay problem solver as well. You give me time to work out a problem, I can come up with a solution. You may not like the solution, but
Right.
yeah, I'll go with those 3.
All right.
I'll go with those 3 things first.
So you're communicate, you can lead, and you can problem solve. Good stuff. Good stuff. Lindsay, what is your value? What is it that you have on the inside of you that people would pay a premium for?
Time management, efficiency, and organization.
Move your mic up just a little bit. I know I got you in a different spot tonight. Say it one more time. I didn't hear you well.
Time management, efficiency, and organization.
Okay, so administrative skills.
Yeah.
All right, good. River, what is your value? And be serious.
Wow. Asked to brag on myself. I can't do that. Just kidding. I can. I'm a great person all around. I like to laugh. I like to laugh. You know.
I like long walks on the beach.
Yeah.
I never.
I like The Office. You know, I'm 19. Just looking for a girl I can laugh with. You know?
Okay. All right.
Whoa.
All right. That's a joke.
What's your idea of a perfect date? I'd say May 19th because it's not too warm and not too hot.
Pizza, the moon. All right. Come on, we're wasting time here, guys. All right. I'd say
This was a mistake.
yeah. Really, I don't.
Why did I ask River?
You know.
Technical. You're good at technical
Good at
things.
technical.
Thank you.
Really? He goes, really?
All right, I'll save you. Here's the thing and this is the way someone asked the question about generating leads for insurance. Generating leads, doing business, growing your business, whatever the context is. Here, if you're not operating within your value, I can be in any industry. I could be in real estate, insurance, music, coaching, and consulting. I've been in a lot of businesses. But I was successful. When I was successful in each one, it was because I was leveraging my value proposition. And here's the thing. Write it down if you're taking notes from home. There's two things that make up your value. Your proficiencies and what you're passionate about. What I'm proficient about and what I'm passionate about. If I have a high proficiency in something, but I have no passion in it, then I'm going to burn out. Okay. So if I have a high proficiency in leadership and communication and problem solving,
But I hate doing it.
but I'm in an area that I'm not passionate about, it doesn't matter. Or I could be in an area that I'm passionate about. I love this or that. I love this or that. But what I love, the thing that I'm in love with here, I don't get to use what I'm proficient with. So I'm always operating in a weak skill set that I don't have. I'm going to get frustrated. I'm going to burn out. When I was in music, I was able to be successful because I knew what my proficiencies and my passions were. I'm able to create content, branding, marketing. Okay. I'm able to communicate that. I'm able to develop it and build it. So why I was successful in piano business is because I was able to develop my own products and brands and import them from overseas. Okay. And have my own stuff. Right. When I was in insurance, the way I was able to generate leads and the way I was able to do things is because I was able to use these tools and distinguish myself away from everybody else because no one else had a health plan for only $89 with no deductible and this and that, 8-9 health plan. And so I was able to brand this sort of package that no one else had. So I was proficient in that, but why was I passionate? Because I was able to create. I like to create things. I guess that's the artist inside the music. You know, I want to write a song. No matter what you're doing, guys, whatever it is, you need to draw a line on a piece of paper and on the left-hand side say, here's the things I'm good at. This is what I'm proficient with. And here's the things I'm passionate about. And then you draw a line into what these two things connect and you put it in the industry you're in, you're going to be successful and you're going to convey that value. That is your value. Mm-hmm. And the best way I can describe how this happened to me is back in 2005, 2006, our business was exploding. We were on the cover of industry magazine as one of the top dealers, and people were, you either loved us or hate us, because we were selling so much online. And it caught the attention of some large corporations. And the largest deal I've ever written to date happened at that time. It was with this company called Suzuki. They had just signed a contract with Costco and said, we will sell our pianos through Costco.com. Mm-hmm. There was only one problem. They didn't know how to get it delivered, because a baby grand piano is not something you can slap a stamp on and throw it in the mailbox, right? And most pianos come through freight, and most freight companies don't do residential. And if they do residential, they drop it off at the curb. They don't bring it in the house.
Right.
So delivering pianos nationwide was a huge logistical, hurdle. That the reason we were able to do what we were able to do is because we solved that problem. Mm-hmm. And so here you had this piano manufacturer that really didn't do well through their dealer network. You know, most people just wasn't keen on Suzuki pianos. If you bought a piano, you wanted to buy a Yamaha or Kawai or a Steinway or Baldwin or something like that. Just the brand recognition and the value of their brand just wasn't where it was. But they felt like they could sell on price point and sell it through Costco, because Costco buyers are more of a wholesale value proposition. You know, can I get a deal on this? You know,
Like my couch.
like your couch.
Yes.
Exactly. And so what happened was, I get a page to come to the front counter. It says, Terry, someone's on the phone. Wants you. And so I answer the phone. And all of a sudden I hear this guy. It sounds like he's from the Northeast. He's some sort of Jewish sounding guy. You know, hey, Terry. You know, this is my Jewish son. This is Howard Feldman. And I was like, okay, I'm president, CEO of Suzuki. And I was like, well, hey, Howie, how are you? You know, and because I didn't know if it was a joke or so, I went full blown Billy Bob on it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be Mr. Professional, Mr. You know, suave. I was just Terry from North Carolina, right? And he says, you know, he goes on to explain how he can sign this major contract, a multi-million-dollar contract with Costco to sell pianos through them, but they've got to solve this problem because Costco can't handle logistics. They don't have and he goes, I'd like to know, who are you guys using to deliver your pianos? Because we see you all over eBay and different places selling pianos online. How are you guys doing it? And so I said, well, it's like this, Howie. We looked around. We tried to find people that around us that had more than 2 teeth in their head that we weren't already cousins with, and we hired them. And so he got a little offended. He's like, listen, I'll pay you for, I know this might be some sort of inside secrets, you know, of the trade. I'll pay you a consulting fee and an ongoing residual just to be able to use this service. If you could turn us on to who are you using? And I said, that's what I'm trying to tell you, Howie. We do it ourselves. No one else would do it. And so that landed one of the largest deals of my life, because we went on to sign this and we became their fulfillment. If you bought back between 05 and 07 a piano through Costco.com, about 70% of the time it came through one of our 5 warehouses throughout the U.S. and came on one of my trucks. And so to date, I look back on that and I say, there's no legitimate reason why good old Terry from Western North Carolina should have ever had the audacity to sign a deal like that. You know, who am I? But I was operating within my value. I was operating in my passion, my proficiencies. And here's the other thing I would teach every one of you guys on tonight. I was myself. I was my authentic, genuine, unvarnished self. I didn't try to put on airs. I didn't try to come across smarter than what I really am. I just sort of laid it out there, take it or leave it. And that posture and that mentality I have used to date. And it works, because I know, just like on this podcast, there are people on tonight that dig what we do. Man, you guys are rock stars. We love what you do. We love the value. And then there's people that listen to us and watch this and like, my God, where are these people from Mayberry? Why are they even on the internet? You know, whatever. Who knows what pejorative they could be using?
What kind of neighborhood they live in?
Yeah, what kind of whatever. But they're just like, and so they don't get it, don't care for it. And here's the thing. That's cool too. You know, because like I said up front, I've learned over the years, all I've got to do is be able to impress 2% of the people that I come in contact with, and I'm going to be wildly successful. Mm-hmm. That's why I talked about tonight in our training segment, income hack number 12, know your numbers. If I know I can pull in 100 people, and I know out of 100 people, 25 are going to be qualified, and I know out of 25 qualified leads, 1 is going to sell now, 4 is going to drip in later. And then if I'm an elite member, Lindsay, and that residual starts kicking in, it doesn't take long to build a healthy income from home.
And residual income can pay land yacht payments.
2 land yacht payments.
It can. I'm just saying.
The whole reason I got into insurance is because I got tired of waking up every morning and starting all over. And insurance at the time was the only legitimate business I could think of that had what's called trails or residual.
Right.
And that's the whole reason TW3's elite package is set up the way it is, because I know for the person who's a professional that wants to take, you know, control of their income and start building a business over time with the passive and with the insurance, there was no passive income. It's just residual.
Yeah.
With this business, you get the passive income, you get the residual income.
Well, and it's unreal because I didn't even start selling until the very end of October. And so to now be able to tell my husband, like, hey, my residual income covers those things, so we don't have to take that out of your check. You know,
Yeah.
that's
You've been
really
with us
cool.
less than a year. You're buying 2 brand new vehicles.
I was with you more, but I didn't start selling till
Well,
October.
yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize. I misspoke there. But you didn't start selling till last October, right?
Right.
And
I
it's
was
not
just
October,
kind
yeah.
of, I was in training and I was dabbling, and it took me a little while to wrap my mind around all the concepts. But October is when I dove in.
Right. And it works.
It does work.
So, guys, when we get back from this last break, we're going to get into your questions. So we're going to start answering. If you got questions about how to generate leads for this business or that business, you got questions about, hey, I've got this business, I'd like to do this, send them in right now. River and Reagan are accumulating your questions right now, and we'll get to it when we get back right after this. So it was a real busy Saturday, a lot of foot traffic, a lot of people out, a lot of people shopping. So I didn't have a lot of time to entertain, weirdness. But this guy just had a very piercing glance, and the words he gave me, it rattled me that day, and it still resonates with me today. It's the reason why I'm an entrepreneur, and thank God I met him, because that started my entrepreneurial journey, and things were great. Business was booming. We became one of the largest piano dealers in the country because we were able to sell online, and it was wonderful. And then it happened.
What we know now is Wall Street can bring down Main Street. And frankly, I'm going to tell you,
And I found myself at a food bank, standing in line, and I had people coming up to me going, hey, are you here to help people today, to minister to people? Because I was known as a teacher and minister in the area. I was like, no, I'm here to be ministered to myself. What they didn't know is I had $4.83 in my account, and a wife and 4 kids and one on the way that needed to eat. I literally felt like the world had taken off and left me behind, and I was just standing there watching. I did not know what I was going to do or how I was going to rebuild my life. And then a friend of mine recruited me into the insurance business, and I learned a whole new industry that I didn't even know existed. And I started marketing the insurance the same way I marketed, my music, because I knew online marketing. I knew how to use various tools to get in front of people. And business took off. Went all around the world, went to Fiji, got to go to the Tony Robbins place and speak to other insurance agents. And I got to teach people on how they can grow their business with various tools, and I showed them how I was doing it. And it was wonderful. And then something happened in the economy and in that specific industry again, Obamacare. And I said, I'm not doing this again. I am not going back to just scrounging, looking for a ways to earn a living. I'm going to make this work. I stayed up for 48 hours on my laptop, just staring at a computer screen, trying to figure out, how can I pivot from this new change, this new big macro change, really? And something weird happened. It came across the screen. It says, Terry, will you teach me and train me how to use these various online tools and marketing tools for insurance? And I thought, would people really want to buy a platform, a system, to be able to market their own insurance and other products? So in this book, I share the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs, and the lessons I've learned along the ways. And now, after 11 years, how anybody, if they're just willing to defeat discouragement, can take their money, business, and life to all new levels. Because as Zig said, you are not a wandering generality, but you are a meaningful specific. And I like to say it this way. You're not some sort of cosmic accident because lightning struck a mud puddle and you crawled out billions of years later. You are made by, from, and for the purposes of greatness. And there's greatness on the inside of you, because as Larry told me that day, I tell you the same. You are worth more.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
Yakety yak, we are back in the sack, and we're ready to take your questions. So what questions do we have, Mr. Reagan?
How can I generate leads for my solar business in my local area?
Solar. So naturally, you're going to want new home buyers, I would imagine. And so if you're wanting to generate leads for the solar business, What I would do, there's a couple things you could do, but if you're a member in step 7, we get into how to do some script development. You could do a voicemail drop to a data list, a scrub filter data list. And what you would want is new homeowners. So look for new homeowners, and then you might want to offer them some sort of incentive or something, what I would do and things like that, especially that's contingent upon, a home being owned by a new person, is, hey, we want to welcome you to the neighborhood. It just as a thank you and getting our name out. We'd like to offer you fill in the blank, and you give them something. And then by giving them that, you can build a relationship with them, hopefully build an appointment. And then on the appointment, and only on the appointment, is when you start to try to sell. Most people struggle in their lead generation business because they're trying to sell rather than generate a lead. And generating a lead and generating a sale is two different things. So don't put the cart before the horse. Main thing is you just want to somehow get them to respond to a marketing piece that you put out, and you want to have a justification to talk to them about the next thing. So your justification in this process, hey, we're with yada yada solar company. We've been in business yada yada yada, but we'd like to give you this free whatever, just for if you know anybody, your family, whatever, would like to talk to us sometime how we can save you money. We'd love to talk to you, but regardless, we want to give you this. And so you just go ahead and sort of lay it out there to them, and don't try to sell them anything. And then the next thing you try to sell is not the solar system still, but then the appointment. Hey, this is a $25 gift card, but we can upgrade you to a $100 gift card just for allowing us to come out and spend 15 minutes with you, and we'll hand deliver it to you. And so then you start off with a $25 gift, upgrade to a $100 gift. You got the appointment, you close the deal. So that's one way that I would do it and have done it in similar type products. Good question, Mr. Reagan.
Thank you. I somehow lost the comments, but I remember the next question. What is it? Maybe I don't remember it. I'm trying to remember how it was phrased, but essentially what's used more? Do people use the system to market their own businesses, or do they resell?
60-40, 60% use it to generate leads for themselves. 40% use it to resell themselves. About 60% of our membership, we never hear from. They're active. They're out there. They're using it. They don't come to the trainings. They don't come to these things tonight because they've got the tools, they got the training, and they're off in their insurance, real estate, direct sales, restaurant, retail world. And we might hear from them occasionally. Right. But that's about a 60-40 split is what we've determined last time we looked at it, which was last year.
Cool. On the number, you talked to 100 people, 25 qualified leads, one that will probably fall through, maybe 4 that drip through later on. Mm-hmm. That's coming through the call center, you're saying?
Yes, and the beautiful thing using the TW3 business model, now that strategy can be used in any business. Chris is using it for his business, but in our particular business, the beautiful thing about TW3 is we give you the marketing assets and the business assets to be able to monetize 100% of all of those people. So 100 people that come through, even if you don't sell them anything, if you're plus or elite, you ought to be able to monetize them through ways that we show you in strategies, because you can give them value, give them things that you're getting paid by from third parties to generate a lead for them. So all you're doing is generating all those leads, and out of 100 leads you generated, only 25 want to move forward. And so the 75 you're sending over to company A, B, or C, let them pay you for those leads. You're okay with it. You're talking to those 25. And then out of those 25, you're going to be able to close about one of them, usually up front. That's the numbers. Now, some of my guys on here tonight, Lindsay, she talks to 10 people and makes a sale. But they are very more, what's the word? You guys are tighter on the front end. So you don't process a lot of unqualified leads.
Right. I don't get on the phone with a person until it has been uniquely qualified that would be a good investment of their time and mine.
Right.
Speaking of strengths, time management.
Well, because she's a hyper organized person. But a lot of people don't have your emotional fortitude to withstand the time it takes to do that.
What does that mean?
What it means?
I need my dictionary. Hold up.
What that means is, for instance, with you're not going to panic if you don't talk to anyone tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Or the next day.
I won't panic if I don't talk to anybody for a week.
Or a week. You don't, matter of fact, you say, man, this is a great week.
Really relaxed.
Introvert life.
However, there are other personality types that if they don't talk to someone tomorrow, there's no activity going on. All of a sudden, this ain't working. What's going on? What's going on?
I used to be like that, but there becomes a lot of confidence and comfort once your business is rocking and rolling.
You've grown. To go to the next level, you have to grow to the next level.
Yes.
And so when you're starting out, if you don't have the emotional fortitude, which means the stick-to-itness,
Right.
to not quit.
And I know now that it's all about numbers. I know that any given month that this is going to be a minimum and that the maximum is all over the place.
Right.
So like knowing that, there's a lot of security in knowing that if I just work the system works.
Right. But you could have been a statistic. You could have gone in and in 2 weeks, because you didn't get everything, it didn't come natural to you. And you're not a technical person.
I'm not.
And you could have said, well,
and I'm not a good salesperson.
there's no software
Like,
back there.
I'm
It's just a
really-
website. There's no software. All they gave me is a password and username.
Yeah.
You could have done that.
I don't
And
like.
you'd
It's
still
funny
be bagging
because
groceries.
I don't have the strengths of technical, and I don't have the strengths of sales.
Right.
Like those are not my strengths, but it still works if you just stick with it.
Right. But, if it works for you and you're completely different than me in personality and everything, really.
Yeah.
And that's not just, we're different.
Yeah.
But it works for you, works for me, works for other people, works for a ton of other people.
That means it's not user specific. It's a system that works.
The system works. So the system's not on trial, folks.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, Mark, Trevor, we have so many people now. I can't even. They'll all tell you though that the first sale is always the hardest too.
It is.
And it's overcoming that little hill.
yeah.
If your goal is to resell the system,
26
overcoming
days.
But I would argue that is
26 days.
100% all psychology.
Yep.
And why is the first sale the hardest?
Part of it's psychology, but I also agree that part of it is you're building your funnel. You're building sort of your network where you're having people come to you. After you have that built and set up and you've already got things out there, it starts to attract
I would say
people.
it's confidence too, though, because when I first started on the phones, I would panic when people would ask me a question I didn't know the answer to. And I'd
She
say,
hung up.
I gotta go.
Like
Sorry,
you
the
have
connection
to,
broke.
Get your sales legs and be able to speak confidently and answer quickly and not have to be like, just a second, let me go look up the answer to your question, because that doesn't make me feel good about.
But if you're one of these Rain Man type personalities that you've got to know everything before you'll do anything, you'll never go anywhere.
No, you got to get on the phone and just figure it out.
Because this is what I tell people. Even if you learn everything there is to know about TW3 right now, guess what? Next month it's about to change. Why? Because it's based on technology, and technology changes.
Mm-hmm.
Better not. Technology better stay the same. I've always heard that innovation is the devil. That was a joke. Let's see here. Someone told me that, what did they say? They said, your personality is drier than my skin.
Wow.
And they had psoriasis.
Number one, I laughed really hard because that's fair. I was
That's
like,
fair.
this is fair.
And number
Do you
3,
moisturize?
are they wrong?
Not his personality.
Got him.
That's how he moisturizes.
I mean, because
I'm just going to leave this long, awkward silence for
I
you.
can
You guys feel
recommend-
good?
Read the
You
question.
like this?
Read the question.
You feel good about this?
Hey, ticket boy, read the question.
Let's see. Why do we not offer refunds?
Oh, that's a great.
I want a refund from this podcast. Because it's free. That's the joke.
That's a great question. Here's the reason why. It's because what you're getting is all web based. It's all service oriented. It's all digital. And so when you buy a system, let me tell you what happens in the background. We go and get server space to put a website, a WordPress website, on a server for you. And then it's hacked. And so it's not a typical WordPress site, because there's some things that had to be modified for it to host what's called plugins, which is another word for software. And so when we get all of that, we get the hosting, we get the licensing from all the software, there is a front-loaded charge on top of your reseller's commission that's paid out. So all of that is front-loaded. Mm-hmm. All of it, that we get no refund. Therefore, we can't offer a refund.
Correct.
So we just say up front, listen.
You should just give them your money out of your pocket. Though.
Yeah.
That would be the right thing.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to lose hundreds of dollars just because, you wanted to make a buying decision after you bought it.
And if you read and signed 3 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you'll notice, all of the comments after 11 years, we've got 3 negative reviews. You're going to read more than that because one of them is from the same guy that's posting under different names all the time. And
Wow.
why is he upset? Because he didn't get a refund.
Also, maybe opening the cat out of the bag a little bit, but every complaint's always been the same thing. You're not giving me a refund. It's like, well, we told you that.
signed 3
Yes.
times.
Yes.
Like,
3
there is an actual
And
thing
there's
where
not
we're like,
there's not a podcast that goes by
that you don't mention it.
that this isn't mentioned in one way or the other. And it's in writing. It's on the site, and it's not that we're trying to take advantage of anybody, hurt anybody.
Well, that's the other thing. It's not even like we feel good that someone's not working out. We want everybody in the
It's
business
not good
to do
for
well.
us. It's not good for us for you not to do well. But what we would argue and say is, listen, if you don't have, and how many times have you heard me say this? If you don't have the financial, emotional, or spiritual patience to make this happen, don't do it.
True. You have said that many times.
I mean, I just say it till I'm about blue in the face, I guess. But, the reason is because when we get your money, this is what happens. We go and we get stuff that you need to build all this, and we pay other people. Mm-hmm. And they don't all, because that's the way this industry works. It's just
right.
the nature of it. And so it's not there. It's not going to be there. And these guys can yell and complain and piss and moan and whatever they want. But a deal's a deal. It's the reality. We're not trying to hide it.
Right.
And we tell you, there's ways that you can join us for free to start out and then move into it. And because this guy, he's trying to play every time he posts something, it's a different story depending on the profile he's using and the platform he's posting it on. But one of them was,
he is creative with the names. I'll give him this one.
He's very creative.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find a job, and they took advantage of me and sold me this $1,500 package, and now won't give me my money back. And
if you were trying to find a job, why did you?
I said, well, why'd you buy a marketing platform?
If you couldn't
I'm tight
afford
on money,
it,
so I need to spend $3,000 for a job.
I mean,
One River's the wokest.
we offer that. We give you that. We get paid. We want you to do that instead because we get paid for it regardless. So it makes no sense. So anyway, that's a great question. I hope we haven't beat a dead horse here, but guys, it's just shut up.
Huh? Well,
anyway.
Can we sell? Hi Terry. Can TW3 lead generation be used in France?
Yes, it can. The only thing is, any of the engagement tools. An engagement tool is like our bulk texter, our bulk dialer, our email. Anything that's contingent upon and needing our database. Our data is U.S. data. It's not any other type of data. You can use these tools, but you have to supply your own data at that point. But the tools can be used. But the data is all U.S. data.
Cool. Let's see here. Okay, so let's talk about the conference a little bit. Have we talked about it at all this podcast, or did I tune it out when you started talking about it?
No.
nope.
We
it's
didn't
not
talk
been
about it.
mentioned.
Okay, cool. So when's the conference?
The conference is, let me pull it up because I'm having a little bit of a blank here, but it's in next March. I think it's March 19th through the 20th. You can go to Worthmore Conference.
Let me put that on my calendar. 'Cause,
.com. Yeah, you're supposed to be there.
yeah, it's not on there yet.
Make sure you're there, Lindsay, because
Okay.
we're
Just a
telling
few-
people it's March 19th through the 21st in Greenville, South
Oh,
Carolina.
it is on here.
And we've got about 26 tickets left.
25, 26. Cool. How much are tickets?
They're $147, I believe.
Can their wife go if they buy a ticket?
Yes.
All right.
And I think the guest ticket's only $97.
Let's see. The Aloft Hotel, any resolve on corporate rates on reservations, or should we hang out a while longer before we book?
Hang out just a little bit longer because we're trying to work something out with them. But the conference is right across the parkway from the Aloft there in downtown Greenville, South Carolina.
Cool.
And if you want to buy tickets, like I said, we've just got a few left, and they will get sold out because we're going to promote them pretty heavy in the next month with whatever's left over just to get them out because we got some other stuff to do. But if you don't want to miss out on this is the cheapest we've ever sold these tickets, and anybody can come. You don't have to be a member, but if you are a member, we want you there. You need to be there. There's so many people. This conference, Lindsay, it's the bomb, isn't it?
It's what took my business off.
Yeah, because we're neighbors, but it wasn't until you came to the conference that you really.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what this guy does all day, but
I just told people he sold drugs. It was easier.
Yep.
It is easy.
I was told that by your sister.
All my kids was like,
Everybody thinks we're joking when we say that. That's literally just what we say. It's always like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, he probably
Well, I
sells
was like,
drugs. Yeah.
5 kids. That's a lot of hunger.
5 kids, his wife doesn't work, and he doesn't leave either. Something is going on.
What is going on at that
And they're
Wilson
always
house
on vacation.
for a month at a time?
But months.
Someone called you out today. I had a sales call, and I said, we have training, Monday and Wednesday. And she goes, well, unless Terry leaves for a month. And I said, well, yeah, he does that.
Yeah, he does do that. And I'm going to do it again in just a few weeks.
He goes, it's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's fair. It's fair.
Hey, but here's the thing. I teach you how to do exactly what I do. There's nothing that I'm doing that I don't share. And if you'd like to go on vacation for months at a time, just do what I do. That's all you got to do.
Or if you'd like to stay at home forever, we can work that out too.
Absolutely.
That has to be a nice feeling.
Yeah.
What?
For someone to be like, well, I wish I could go on 20 vacations a year. And you go, I literally show you how I do it.
Okay. Then do exactly what I do. I give you the step by step.
That sounds like a lot of work. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to keep working at
Then you
McDonald's.
don't want to do what I do.
Let's see.
Lindsay, are we boring?
I'm sorry. No. It must be 10 o'clock.
Lindsay, it's at 9:59.
Is it?
It's like your clock just kicks
My
in.
body
Must be that sweet
knows.
tea.
Yeah.
What do I say to clients that say this is a scam?
Oh, that's a great question. Lindsay, you answer it first.
So my first rebuttal to that is not so much an answer, but what I say is, you know what? Invite them to our Monday night podcast. Did I miss something?
I'm one-upping him. He's going to have to edit it later.
Oh.
Would you please?
It really frustrates him. Don't do it.
I invite them to our podcast because if they come on here and they see that we are literally the most regular people in the world, I feel like that really boosts confidence. And we're not out to scam you. We're believers. If we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty, we want good things for you.
Yeah.
And we're all just regular Joes. We're not scammers.
I love scams where they say, hey, if you don't have the money, please, for the love of God, don't do this. we're the worst scam artists in the history of.
Yeah, we got to sharpen our
I mean, how
knife.
many companies would tell you that? Like, hey, check your budget first.
I can't afford this Lexus. Oh, you can afford it. You can afford it.
Well, it's hard for me to answer that anymore just because it's so personal. I come across defensive, so I try to get other people to answer that. But my only answer is if this is a scam, it's the worst scam in the world
because it's working too good.
Well, number one, I slipped up and put it under my own name. Stupid. Yeah. Number two,
other people are making money.
Other people are making money at it, so I've got to go back, circle back and figure out what did I do wrong for them to be successful.
It's a bad scam.
And here's a point that I think we talked about it last week, but a lot of businesses, which they can be referenced as pyramid schemes, they always talk about get in on the ground floor. That's where the people are making money.
Right.
Even some things that aren't technically pyramid schemes, but maybe a little bit shadier,
To each his own.
Right. No need to name them, but you know what I'm talking about. This is probably one of the only businesses where you could literally start today and a month from now be making money. And people do it. And
there
it
is no
every
ground
week.
floor here. You start when you want.
There's no differentiator. Everybody starts with the same tools. Everybody's offered,
right,
the same
and
opportunity.
My people will be like, oh, if I sell a bunch of packages, do you get a benefit?
No.
I'm like, I'm really excited for you, and that's my benefit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, that's
yours.
it.
This is commission based. That's your sell.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a direct sales business, so it's not MLM or network.
Yep.
But
it's not to knock like other
no,
businesses.
it's not to knock
but
because I don't want to conflate the two because I'm not one that believe that they are some MLMs that are scams, but there's some that are not. So I want to be.
Well, my other business is an MLM,
Right.
and it is bringing money in every month and has been for 3.5 years. So, like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I'm saying.
part
There's
of both.
there's good and bad businesses in every type of business model.
Right.
The reason why is on purpose that this is not an MLM is because at the time it was built, I had my securities license, and that is a huge no to be in any type of business because there are so many out there that are just bad.
Right.
Okay. So, but long of the short, I would just tell you it's business 11 years in my name, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. The only thing that you're going to read negative is by 3 people, one of which gets to post once a week. And he's now found a forum that doesn't care if it's true or not. Like he went on these other forums and I would just say, hey, this is the same guy. And they would take it down. Hey, this same. He went to the Better Business Bureau and I filed. I said, here's what we told him. Here's a recording of us talking to him, explaining, don't do this. And, and so he's tried to find an audience there, but it's just a form of blackmail. He's trying to get his way. He leaves a voicemail on our system once a week. It's just goofy. It's just absolutely goofy.
Well, I mean, outing the context of it, but there is that recording where we go, someone literally told him like, hey, if this isn't right for you, you can't afford it right now, maybe wait, come in as I think they said an affiliate, literally a whole conversation where we're saying, maybe this just isn't for you right now. Maybe try it on later. He's like, no, I'm gonna do it. Didn't work out.
But
Gave it 2 days.
I would just say, make the buying decision before you make a purchase, not afterwards.
Please.
Because once it's done, it's done.
Yep.
So anyway, good questions. I hope we're clarifying, our hearts and our terms and everything else. So
cool. I think we reached end of questions. Unless anybody wants to send it in real quick.
All right, good stuff. The chat room is alive tonight, it looks like. So good to have everybody on. Chris is active tonight. Miller Time is in the house, and so he's being real active. Thank you, Chris, for all of you do. Insane Cookie Monster, good to have you on tonight. Linda, sweet Linda from the Northwest is where Linda's at. So it's good to have you on.
Chris, it's in this one. How many total spaces will the conference hold? Sorry, Chris, I missed the
100.
100. Cool.
So once it's sold out, it's sold out.
I don't know if this has been answered already, but Christopher Miller asked if books came out, or books from last week, have they gone out already?
Yeah, everything that was sold last week was mailed out Friday. It was sent out via media mail, which usually takes 5 to 10 business days to just
so be patient.
To be a little patient, because we did send it via media mail.
How does Ron get his digital copy signed?
Ron can get his digital copy signed when he comes to the conference next year.
You're gonna write it on his laptop.
Are you gonna write it on my Kindle too?
I'll write it right on your Kindle.
My sweet grandmother one time left a sticky note on her phone. She needed to remember something.
Grandma Joyce.
It wasn't her. It was Grandma Jean, but she literally had a sticky note on her phone. I was literally showing her. I was like, there's notes. There's a notepad on this, and she was like, I need to see it. She's deaf. She's like, I need to see it. Like, you can.
She had and not only that, she had
Grandma.
50 sticky notes on it. And she's like, I need to see my notes. I'm like, your notes is inside your phone.
Love her.
Funny.
She's precious.
Hey, Jane says she just got her book today, and
right.
he's liking it.
Cool.
Good deal. So when we get back from the break here, I think we got to one more break, and then we're going to pick out someone for $300 in free food. And I might just give one of these away when we get back right after this. So there's two things that I use on a daily basis to make more money, make more sales. Because I have learned over 20 some odd years of being an entrepreneur is most people do not make a significant purchase the first time they hear about it, or even the second time. As a matter of fact, it normally takes 6 touches, 6 encounters with a client before they will ever decide to pull the trigger on anything. How do you scale a business if you can't automate that process? One of the things and tools that I use is Aweber, which is an automatic email marketing system. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial by going to terrywilson3.com/Aweber. That's terrywilson3.com/AWEBER, Aweber, and try their services out. I think you're going to really like it. And if you decide to keep it after 30 days, they'll give you a discount for using that code. Go to terrywilson3.com/Aweber right now and put your marketing and your sales process on autopilot.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
River, only white man I know that gets ashy.
How do I fix my personality, though? How do I moisturize that? My personality. That's a scapegoat. You can't just use that for everything. You ever go to Sunday school and they ask the question, you didn't really hear it, and you're just like, Jesus. Jesus is the answer.
My marriage is broken. Please help me. Yeah. All right. Bible. Yeah. Read your Bible.
All right, guys, we're on the air.
Oh, sorry about
So, and Lindsay's microphone is still muted. That's okay.
Sorry, I was giving skincare advice.
Well, that's what this show's all about.
Obviously.
If you can't get skincare advice
It's
from
natural. It's aloe based.
that's right.
Yeah.
So here's what I do. Start with hot water. Make sure the room's steaming.
Scalding hot water.
Very hot water. Make sure it's steaming.
Yeah.
Opens your pores.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like to
Right,
scrub it
yeah.
with a face wash.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do you?
After I scrub it, after I scrub my face, what I do is I take a little bit of oil. It's shaving oil, and I rub it into my skin because my pores are open. You rub the oil into your skin. Then after that, I use Dr. Carver's shave butter.
Oh, I
then I
love me
rub
some
that
Dr.
in.
Carver.
All over your whole face or just where you shaved?
Well, where I shave, yeah.
So
Well,
not
no,
on
wait a
your
minute. The
forehead.
shave butter's for shaving. It's not for to moisturize after
We're
shaving.
not talking about shaving.
Yeah.
Do you not shave?
Yeah, that's why I'm talking
Are
about
you talking
this.
about after you shave, you use Dr. Carver?
No, I use it.
I
before the
love,
shave.
yeah, to shave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Then after I use Dr. Carver, I shave. Normally, I use a safety razor, one blade. You can change it every day. Make sure it's
People
disinfected.
on there go, what are they talking about?
They're gonna love this. All right, this is great stuff. Okay.
This is value added.
All right. Once I'm done shaving, you can go twice, but my skin's very sensitive. I only shave once. After I'm done shaving, I use cold water and I
Okay.
splash my face with it. What that does is that closes the pores.
Okay.
Okay, because that way I don't get whelps. You know, because
Right.
if your skin's loose and you like cut it and then it's it starts whelping up.
Yeah.
And after I use that, I use a little bit of alcohol. I use like Old Spice has some alcohol.
Well, no wonder you have dry skin.
No, I'm not. Bear with me.
Okay.
I use it to. What that does is that sanitizes my face because any open wounds, like any micro cuts, and then after that, finally, I'm almost done.
He's almost done. Give him a
I'm
chance.
almost done. After that, I use a shaving moisturizing butter, and I just rub it all over my face.
All over your face.
I'm gonna hook you up
Very
with
good.
my
Dear
LeBron
Lord,
girl.
guys.
That's
You
good
need
stuff.
the aloe
That's
base.
good stuff.
It's
You
good
know?
stuff. All right.
Okay. Who won the $300 in free food?
See, here's the thing: if they paid attention to my story, we're really weeding out who the real winner is. Because
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, that's true.
yeah. You're not gonna do the drum roll.
Oh, sorry.
So, who shared this podcast? And we randomly chose
Yep.
Tom
Randomly?
Sellers.
Tom
Sellers.
Sellers. Yeah.
Congratulations, Tom.
Congrats.
Tom,
$300.
hey, Tom's still on.
See,
Tom is
he
still
deserves
on,
it.
and he
Anybody that
deserves-
stayed through that story,
anybody that stayed through that shaving story
Preordained.
deserves a $300 in free food.
how are they going to receive that?
Via email.
What happens if they don't receive it?
Send in a ticket, let us know, or send in if you're not a member. Tom's a member, so just send in a ticket.
Right. But first, check spam junk promo folder,
Thank you.
and then if you
Check-
still don't see it, we'll resend it for you.
Check your spam, junk, or promotional folder. Anytime you're expecting something from us and you don't see it, check there first, because 9 out of 10 times that's where it's at. Because most people use Yahoo or Gmail, and if you use those accounts and you get email from people like us that send out tons of email every day, they mistakenly think, well, this must be spam.
Right.
And they put it in there for you. So here's the deal. If you want one of these books, you can go to youareworthmorebook.com, youareworthmorebook.com, and get that. Or you can get one for free by being the first person who enrolls tonight with any of my members. If you enroll tonight with any of my members, the first person who enrolls tonight or tomorrow, I'll put it, because I don't want to do it under. I don't want to make you feel pressure. Okay? No pressure. But the first person who enrolls at TW3 after tonight's podcast, I'm going to throw that book in.
Hey, my people, come on.
Come on.
I got about 3 of y'all.
So if
ready.
you want to know the story behind the brand and how this all came about,
Make the leap.
make the leap. It's there, and you can make a lot of money. Guys, thank you for being on the show tonight. We had a lot of great stuff.
You're
A lot-
welcome.
Yeah. Reagan rushed all the way back from, Yardbird headquarters down there in Atlanta.
Yardboard.
Yardbird. Sorry, I said board. I'm tired. I got up at 6. Did
You
I
need
tell
to go back to bed.
I was up at 6 this morning on
Man.
AM.
I was like, did he stay up all night so he could pull this off?
Oh my gosh. And then he's asking me these questions about the book, and I'm like, I don't know. Let me look that up. Let's see here. What did I say there? It was just, I was a little bit hazy, but, and now I'm hazy tonight because I was up so early.
The struggle.
The struggle is real. But anything else we got to cover? So first person that comes on with TW3 after tonight's podcast, you're going to get a free You Are Worth More book. If you would like to buy one tonight, you can go over to youareworthmorebook.com. If you are a Kindle fan, you can go over to Amazon and get that. And by the way, if you buy it through our store, the shipping is free right now. We've got about 21 left that are free. And if they come through the store, I sign the copy for you as well.
One more thing. If they want to enroll tonight, they need to go to terrywilson3.com/enroll
Yes, thank you. TerryWilson3.com/enroll is where you enroll.
and get your free book.
Put your
If you're first.
member recruiter's name down, and if you don't put a name down, it doesn't get processed. If you put my name down, it doesn't get processed because I don't sell directly. So anytime someone comes in and say, well, I talked to Terry. No, you didn't. Because I don't talk to people. Because I'm not going to be out competing with my members to sell my own product. So I don't sell directly. So make sure you put your recruiter and trainer's name down because we want them to get credit and we want them to be there available to you to help support you, train you, and get you up to speed as quick as possible. Thanks for being on with us tonight. This was episode 378. This was talking about your value. You are all valuable. You all have value. And so don't be afraid of it. Use it, leverage it, make money with it. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Thank you for listening to our show today at TerryWilson3.com. If you would like more information on how we can take your money, your business, and your life to the next level, then please visit us online at TerryWilson3.com or call 800-673-1728.
This is the Terry Wilson. Really, I'm excited, Terry. I want to get started here.
Is this a celebrity, Terry Wilson?
Oh, my word.
How you doing, sir? Dude, don't even go there. I've been listening to this for a while, and I'm finally like, okay, guys, what a privilege. I mean,